In this training video, you will learn about safety in the shop and yard. Some topics that will be covered are personal protective equipment, shop safety, heavy equipment hazards, preventing back injuries, tool and equipment safety, electrical hazards, fire prevention. Throughout your job, you may be exposed to these hazards. For this reason, we have implemented the Stop Work Authority. The Stop Work Authority is designed to give every employee the power to stop any work that presents an imminent danger to personnel, equipment, or the environment. This is not in place to get others in trouble, but to guarantee we all go home to our loved ones. If at any time you feel that your safety or the safety of others is in question, you have the right to stop them from performing the unsafe act. While working at H&E, you will be required to wear a variety of personal protective equipment. Let's review some of the basic requirements of the various types and the protection that each PPE has been designed for. Look for PPE signage required for the area you're working in. You must wear ANSI Z87 approved safety glasses and steel-toe safety boots anytime you are in the yard or in the shop. If you wear prescription glasses, you must have the ANSI Z87 frames and lenses, and you must have side shields on your frames. H&E has a boot program and prescription eyewear program. For more information, please consult with your supervisor or a branch manager. You may be required to use ANSI Z87-1 impact-resistant PPE, depending on what you're working on. This will include approved face shields for jobs involving potential flying debris that may be present when grinding, cutting, or brazing. If you are a welder, you must wear your impact-resistant welding goggles and shields. Gloves should be worn if you're dealing with hot work such as welding, cutting, or brazing, or anytime your hands can be injured. Chemical-resistant gloves must be worn when handling any hazardous substance. When working in the shop or yard, you may be exposed to high levels of noise from the equipment or the tools. Noisy work environments can lead to hearing damage if the right PPE is not used. You will be provided with an H&E uniform, which is also a part of your daily PPE. It not only represents the H&E brand, but protects your skin from dust, dirt, and contaminants. Fall protection is required when operating boom lifts at any height, no exceptions. As required for all PPE, personal fall arrest systems must be inspected prior to each use for wear, damage, and other deterioration. It's your responsibility to make sure the supervisor is aware as soon as PPE is damaged. Although your PPE is there to protect you, it will not prevent you from getting hurt. Therefore, it's important to know what to do in the event you or a coworker is injured. Basic First Aid will be one of your learning modules. This module will take you through basic first aid and how to identify and treat. Our facilities will be equipped with first aid kits, eye wash stations, and overhead emergency showers when applicable. Please take the time to familiarize yourself with the location of these emergency items. If the injury is deemed to be an immediate danger to life or health, dial 911 for emergency assistance. To ensure the safety of yourself and others, you should make sure your shop is well organized and free of clutter. Proper housekeeping is a great foundation for a safe workplace. Maintaining the shop throughout the day can prevent slips, trips, and falls. Every shop is marked with yellow safety lines, which are used to separate your work areas and provide a clear path in and out of the shop. Anytime there's a visible hazard in the shop, you're required to place safety cones so that they can be identified by everyone. Examples are hoses or cords in the path of travel, slippery surfaces caused by oil or water, or forklift outriggers and forks. Placing cones can prevent many potential accidents. A 3-foot safety zone must be kept in front of electrical panels and fire exits to allow easy and quick access to these areas. If you go into the yard, it is your responsibility to be aware of your surroundings and watch for equipment and vehicles in operation. When entering or exiting the shop, be sure to read and adhere to the posted safety signs. As part of your daily tasks, you may be required to move equipment in and out of the shop and throughout the yard. There are a number of identified hazards associated with heavy equipment operations. You will receive separate hands-on and online training that covers heavy equipment operations and those hazards. You must be properly trained and tested by an H&E representative before you can operate any equipment. Heavy equipment should be inspected prior to each use. This is completed by performing a 360-degree walk-around to check for leaks and other mechanical concerns. If you find any problems, please report them to your supervisor immediately. You should always maintain 3 points of contact when entering or exiting equipment. It's also important to make sure that your boots and steps of the equipment are free from mud or any other slippery contaminants. Keep in mind the designated work zones in the shop, and be sure not to go into an area where others are working. Also, be aware of any overhead doors while entering or exiting the shop. Remember, you're never the only person working at the facility. Therefore, you must be aware of your surroundings and watch for other employees, equipment, and vehicles in operation. There may be times when you need a spotter to help guide you and position equipment. Spotters must maintain constant verbal or hand communications with the operator and be in visual contact at all times. Back injuries are some of the most common injuries seen in the workplace. They're also one of the easiest injuries to prevent. Many times, back injuries are simply caused by lifting too much weight or not using the right lifting technique. H&E has a maximum weight of 40 pounds. You should not lift any objects by yourself if it exceeds this 40-pound threshold. Enlist a spotter or a helper. Make sure someone is with you when you lift a heavy object. Bend with your knees to grasp the object and slowly lift upwards with your legs. Ensure your legs are shoulder width apart for maximum support. Keep your back straight. Hold the object at waist level and close to your body. Don't bend or twist while you are lifting or carrying. We can keep our backs free from injury if these techniques and procedures are followed correctly. Manual hand tools include hammers, pliers, screwdrivers, and wrenches. Many of the hazards associated with these hand tools result from misuse and improper maintenance. The use of portable and handheld power tools should be done under extreme caution. When using power tools, we must follow the entire manufacturer's specified requirements of use and maintenance. Be sure to use your tools for the task for which they were designed, and follow the manufacturer's list of limitations. Here are a few general practices that should be followed when using various tools. Inspect tools for damage prior to every use. Hand tools shall be used for their intended purpose. Maintain all tools in good condition, free of damage. Carry and store tools properly. Any tools with sharp edges should be covered. Store electric tools in a dry place. Ensure that cords from electric tools are not cut or frayed. Disconnect the tool from its power source before changing drills, blades, or bits. And as always, wear the proper personal protective equipment. Anytime you're servicing or repairing equipment, you're required to follow the lockout-tagout procedures. Lockout-tagout is the technique used to control any live or stored energy the equipment has to prevent the potential cause of injury. Many different types of chemicals and solutions are used in the shop and yard. Hazard communication ensures that these chemicals are handled, used, and stored in a safe manner. GHS stands for Global Harmonization Standard and is a labeling system that allows us to easily identify health, physical, and environmental hazards associated with certain chemicals. This information can be found on the container's labels and the safety data sheets located in the shop. The GHS label elements are Product Identifier, Hazard Statement for each hazard class and category, Precautionary Statement for each hazard class and category, the name, address, and telephone number of the chemical manufacturer, Signal word, danger, warning, Pictograms. These are outlined by red diamonds. When transferring chemicals from one container to another, it's important that the containers are properly labeled and identified with the chemical it contains. Never use a solution or chemical from a bottle or container that is not labeled properly, or one that you are not familiar with. Please consult your supervisor if there are any questions on how to handle, label, or identify chemicals. Different types of fire hazards can be found in the shop. Certain materials such as paints, solvents, aerosols, and other flammable materials can cause intense fires and generate dense smoke. It's important that you take the proper precautions to prevent any shop fire. Every branch has fire safety cabinets that are used to store flammable liquids and aerosols. Properly stored, these items are protected from any open ignition source. If you have any questions regarding fire safety, please refer to our company-specific fire protection plan. In the event of a fire, you may be required to use a fire extinguisher. Please remember to pass, P-A-S-S, when using an extinguisher. P. Pull the pin. A. Aim the nozzle at the base of the fire while standing 3 to 5 feet or more away. S. Squeeze the trigger while holding the extinguisher upright. Stand away and move in on the fire. S. Sweep from side to side, covering the fire with the extinguishing agent. Only handle small, controllable fires. If the fire cannot be extinguished with the available firefighting equipment, call 911 to notify the fire department. You should never fight a fire if you have any doubt whether you can extinguish the fire safely. If the fire is spreading beyond the original location. If the fire could come between you and the nearest fire exit. If a flammable liquid is burning and not physically contained. In the event of an emergency and the building must be evacuated, follow the posted evacuation routes and meet at the designated safe area. Make sure you understand the correct procedures and the meeting location for all employees. Never go back into the building until you've been given the all clear. Here at H&E, we want our employees to be safe in the workplace. Strive to make a difference in the workplace and help the people around you. Most importantly, take the time to be safe while you're on the job. Remember, you are the true safety professional, and with your hard work, you can help make a difference. You can help ensure that we all go home to our loved ones on a daily basis. We hope you have found this safety training video useful. If you have any questions, please contact your supervisor, your branch manager, or your safety coordinator.